This is B. Nagaraju, Government Degree College, Kurutla, Contract Faculty in Botany. Today my topic name is nitrogen fixation. Now see the role of nitrogen in plants. So nitrogen is the major substances in plant next to water. So nitrogen is useful for building blocks. So nitrogen is constituent element of chlorophyll, cytochrome, alkaloids, and many vitamins. And nitrogen plays important role in metabolism, growth, reproduction, and heredity. Now see the nitrogen sources. So in atmospheric nitrogen is 78% of atmospheric nitrogen is present in that atmosphere. So plants cannot utilize these form, but some bacteria, blue-green algae, and leguminous plants so utilize this atmospheric nitrogen. So now see the nitrates, nitrites, and ammonia. So plants utilize the nitrogen only these three forms: nitrites, nitrates, nitrites, and ammonia. And nitrate is a chief form. So nitrate is the chief form. And amino acids in the soil. Many soil organisms use this form. Higher plants can also taken by higher plants. Organic nitrogenous compounds in insects. So they are insectivorous plants. Now see the nitrogen fixation. The conversion of free nitrogen into nitrogenous salts to make it available for absorption of plants is called nitrogen fixation. So now see the types of nitrogen fixation. The nitrogen fixation is mainly two types. The first one is the non-biological nitrogen fixation, and the second one is the biological nitrogen fixation. Biological fixation again classified to non-symbiotic and symbiotic nitrogen fixation. Okay, again I will explain again. So nitrogen fixation is mainly two types: non-biological, biological. Biological fixation again classified to non-symbiotic and symbiotic. So first one we see the non-biological fixation. Non-biological fixation, the microorganisms do not take place. So in that process, the microorganisms are not involved in this process. So in this process, rainy season during light or thunders. So in atmospheric nitrogen combines with the oxygen molecules in presence of light, and it formed as a nitric acid, and nitric acid again combined with the oxygen. By the process of oxidation, nitrogen peroxide is formed. So when this nitrogen peroxide dissolved in water, rainwater, and it's formed as a nitrite and a nitric acid. And then this nitric acid combines with calcium salts. So then it is formed as a calcium nitrate. And nitrate and ammonia is combined with ammonium nitrate, and nitrate combined with ammonium nitrate. So these farms, these salts farm can receive the nitrogen, these salt farms plants. So now see the biological nitrogen fixation. The fixation of atmospheric nitrogen into nitrogenous salt with the help of microorganisms is called biological nitrogen fixation. So that is the differences of main non-biological and biological nitrogen fixation. In non-biological nitrogen fixation does not involve any microorganisms, but in biological nitrogen fixation is run with the help of microorganisms. So now see the types of biological nitrogen fixation. So biological fixation is classified to two types. The first one is the symbiotic and second one is the non-symbiotic nitrogen fixation. Now see these the following types. So first we see the non-symbiotic nitrogen fixation. In this process, fixation carried out by free living organisms. This fixation is carried out by the free living microorganism. So they are aerobic or anaerobic or blue-green algae. And some special type of bacteria are involved in this process. So that type of bacteria is called as nitrogen fixing bacteria. So there are various types. So the first one is the free living aerobic bacteria. So it is the good example of Azotobacter and Biserinckia. Azotobacter and Biserinckia is the good example of free living aerobic bacteria. And next one is the free living anaerobic bacteria. So it is a good example Clostridium. Clostridium is a free living anaerobic bacteria. And next one is the next example is free living photosynthetic bacteria. So these are the good example of Chlorobium and Rhodosudomonas is the free living and photosynthetic bacteria involved in the non-symbiotic nitrogen fixation. And last one is the free living chemosynthetic bacteria. Free living chemosynthetic bacteria. Example disulfovibrio, disulfovibrio and Theobacillus. So they are the good example of free living chemosynthetic bacteria. And next one we see the free living fungi. Some fungi also involved in the process of nitrogen fixation. So they are the good example of yeast and Pullularia is the free living fungi. Some yeast and Pullularia is a free living fungi. So they are the involved in the nitrogen fixation process. And next one is the blue-green algae. So blue-green algae, unicellular blue-green BGA, blue-green algae is the Gliotheca and Synechoccus is the unicellular blue-green algae involved in the biological nitrogen fixation. Next one is the free filamentous or non-heterocystous blue-green algae. Example Oscillatoria. And next we see the filamentous with heterocystous. Example Toliphothryx, Nostoc, Anabina. Toliphothryx, Nostoc, Anabina is the good example of filamentous heterocystous blue-green algae. So they all microorganisms involved in the nitrogen fixation. Now see the symbiotic nitrogen fixation. Now see the symbiotic nitrogen fixation. fixation of free nitrogen by microorganism in soil living symbiotically inside the plants. So what inside symbiotically inside the plant is called symbiotic. Some microorganisms in soil living symbiotically inside the plant is called as symbiotic nitrogen fixation. So this the word symbiosis, this word, okay, the word means symbiosis, is coined by the scientist name is D. Berry. D. Berry. And next we see the symbiotic nitrogen fixation categorized into three types. So first one is the nodule formation in legume plants. This is the first category. And second is the nodule formation in non-leguminous plants. And third one is the non-nodulation. Non-nodulation. So this symbiotic nitrogen is categorized into three types. First one is the nodule formation in leguminous plants, and nodule formation in non-leguminous plants, and non-nodulation plants. And next we see the first one, nodule formation in leguminous plants. Okay, nodule formation in leguminous plants. So 2500 species of family of leguminous. So they are Caesar eratinum, Phyzum, Khazanas kazan, Arachis, produces root nodules. So with the help of bacteria, Rhizobium species. Rhizobium species. And they fix the nitrogen only inside the root. They fix the nitrogen inside the root. So it is called as nodules. So the tumors is called as nodules. And then association provides food, shelter to bacteria. And then bacteria supply the fixed nitrogen to the plant. So this process is called as symbiosis. This process is called as symbiosis. A nodule may be buried in soil even after harvesting and continue nitrogen fixation. Now see the nodule formation in non-leguminous plant. First one is the nodule formation in leguminous plant is completed. So second one is the nodule formation in non-leguminous plants. So some other plants also produce root nodules. Some other plants also produce root nodules. For example, Casuarina equisetifolia. Casuarina equisetifolia is produces. It is a non-leguminous plant. In that plant, bacteria is Frankia. It produces nodules. And next one is the ulnus plant. So in that plant, bacteria is Frankia is produce nodules. And Myrica gale. So produce the root nodules. The bacteria name is Frankia. And Parasponia. In that plant, the bacteria produce, the Rhizobium bacteria produces root nodules. And some plants nodules produces on the leaf. So they are called as leaf nodules. So leaf nodules are, we can see in that Dioscorea and Psychotria. Dioscorea and Psychotria leaves, we can see on the leaves, leaf nodules. And some plants, some gymnosperms plants, roots, for example, Podocarpus produces root nodules. And some gymnosperms plants of and Pavetta, Gymnermanica, Ginium mermanica is and Colimia. So produces the gymnosperms of leaves, root nodules. Now see the non-nodulation. So what is non-nodulation? We see the non-nodulation. Non-nodulation, for example, lichens. In that lichens, cyanobacteria and Anthoceras blue-green algae is present in that thallus. It is called as nostoc. Azolla, it is a pteridophyte plant. In that thallus, the Anabina azolla is a bacteria is present, and Cycas corallide roots, the nostoc and Anabina blue-green algae is present in that corallide roots, and Gunnera macrophylla, Gunnera macrophylla in that nostoc is present, and Digitaria and maize and sorghum, and these monocot leaves, monocot roots, so Spirillum notatum is presented, and its form it participate in the symbiosis process, and Paspalum notatum, Paspalum notatum. So in that Azotobacter paspalae, Azotobacter paspalae is bacteria is participated in the formation of nodulation, non-nodulation plants. These are so, but they produce it is a participate in the nitrogen fixation process. So next one is the symbiotic nitrogen fixation. Now see the symbiotic nitrogen fixation. The small knob-like protuberancy on roots is called as nodules. So this size and shape is varies. So they are the spherical or flat or finger-like structures or elongated. And from pinhead 1 centimeter in size, and various species of Rhizobium species is noted and named after host plant. For example, P. Rhizobium legumineus. For example, beans, Rhizobium fasciole. For example, soybean, Rhizobium japonicum. For example, lupins, Rhizobium lupini. So this name is came on based on the host plant. So mainly two Rhizobium species are there. The first one is the Brady Rhizobium species, and next one is the Rhizobium species. So what are the difference between the Brady Rhizobium and Rhizobium species? Brady Rhizobium species slow growing species, but Rhizobium species are fast growing species. So that is the differences of Rhizobium, Brady Rhizobium and Rhizobium. So now next we see the Rhizobium bacteria. So Rhizobium bacteria is a gram-negative bacteria and non-sporous forming bacteria. It is a micro and aerobic bacteria, and it is low degree of specificity. The two parasite, the partners, the bacteria and host, recognized by the chemical substances and lectins. So this chemical substance is called as lectins, with phytogluteins. Lectins are phytogluteins. So they are the carbohydrate containing plant protein. Carbohydrate containing plant protein. Lectins are carbohydrate containing plant proteins. So next we see the formation of root nodules in legumes. So root nodules formed due to the infection of Rhizobium, and free-living bacteria growing near root of legumes unable to fix nitrogen in free condition. Root of legumes secretes growth factors, help in fast multiplication of bacteria. For example, Physarum sativum secretes homoserine, and also carbohydrate containing protein. It is a carbohydrate containing protein is lectin. So over their surface, and then these help in recognition and attachment of rhizobial cells. And rhizobial cells have carbohydrate receptor on the surface. So lectins interact with the carbohydrate receptor of rhizobial cells, occur between the root hair and young root hairs, and bacteria enter the root hair through the soft infected root hairs, and the tips are deformed and curved, and tubular infection thread is formed in the root hair. So and hair cells and bacteria enter into it. So now see the diagram. So uh, this is the root, and these are root hairs. These are the soil and soil particles, and these are bacteria. So when these host cell secretes the lectin protein, and bacterial cells are attracted to near to the root hair or root loop, and then these bacteria, rhizobium bacteria, accumulate near the root hair, and then the root hairs are curved, and when is the root hairs cells are ruptured, and then these rhizobium bacteria enter into the root hair. So it is called as infection thread. This is called as tubular infection thread. So this is the nodule formation in leguminous plant. So this is the clear diagram. Okay, this is the first one is the root hairs, and this is the rhizobium attachment to the root hair. This is the first step is attachment, and so these root hairs secrete the special receptors are there. So when the root hairs these bacteria attracted to the special receptor or proteins or carbohydrate containing protein is called as lectin, and this when the lectin is secreted the root hairs, the bacteria attracted to the near the hair loop, hair curved, and then all bacteria are enter into the these root hair. So it is looking like a thread like structure. So this thread is called as infection thread. This thread is called as infection thread, and all bacteria are enter into the cortex region of the root, and then these bacteria divided into and increasing the number of bacteria. So this number of bacteria is called as bacteroids. These are called as bacteroids. So this is the bacteria for nodule formation process. So this is the first one is this is the root hairs, attachment of bacteria, rhizobium bacteria, and infection thread is formed. So this is the infection thread, and the bacteria this is the bacteroids formed, and then root nodule is formed. This is the process of nodule formation. The after entry of new cell wall is formed, and tubular infection contain mucopolysaccharides. Infection thread contains mucopolysaccharides where the bacteria embedded and start multiplication. It grows much and reaches the inner layer of cortex region, and bacteria is released, induces the cortical cells and multiply, of which result the formation of nodule on the surface. So the bacteria cells multiplies and colonize is multiplying the host cell. So after the host cell are completely filled, so the bacterial cells becomes dormant bacteroids. The float on leg hemoglobin, It is a reddish pigment in cytoplasm of host cell. So what is the function of this hemoglobin function? Red hemoglobin function. So it is a efficient oxygen scavenger and maintain steady state of oxygen and stimulates ATP production. So this is the function of hemoglobin function on that root nodules. And present studies indicate that leg hemoglobin is not essential. Nitrogenous compounds synthesized is translocated through vascular tissues, and groups of rhizobia surrounded by the double membrane originated from host cell wall. So the bacterioids lack film wall osmotical label. So this is a film wall. So after the host cell are completely filled and the bacteria cells become dominant bacterioids. So it is over. So biochemistry of nitrogen fixation. So basic requirement of nitrogen fixation, nitrogenase enzyme and hydrogenase enzyme, and protect you the mechanism against the oxygen. It is ferredoxin, hydrogen releasing system of electron donor and constant of ATP, coenzyme and cofactors. They are TPP, thymine pyrophosphate, coenzyme A, and inorganic phosphate and magnesium ions, and cobalt and molybdenum, and a carbon compound. So now see the structure of nitrogenase enzyme. It plays a key role in the nitrogen fixation. So it is active in anaerobic condition and made up of two protein subunits. So first one is the non-heme iron protein, and it is called as non-heme iron protein. Second one is the iron molybdenum protein. So first one is the iron protein and the second one is the molybdenum iron protein. So first one is called as dinitrogen, and second one is called as dinitrogenase. So iron protein reacts with the ATP and reduces the second subunit, and which ultimately reduces the nitrogen into ammonia. So this is the molecular nitrogen combined with the 6 protons and 6 electrons, and then ammonia is formed in the presence of nitrogenase enzyme. So this is the structure of nitrogenase enzyme. So this is the nitrogenase, reductase, and dinitrogenase. So dinitrogenase, dinitrogenase. So this is the complete reaction of nitrogen fixation. In this process, nitrogen fixation, one single molecule of nitrogen use 8 protons, 8 electrons, and 16 magnesium and ATP molecules, and then it formed one ammonia molecule. So the reduction of nitrogen to ammonia requires 6 production of 6 protons and 6 electrons, and 12 molecules of ATP required. One pair of electron required 4 ATP. So the modified equation is nitrogen 8 electrons and 8 protons, and ammonia is formed. The hydrogen produces the catalyzer into protons and electron by the enzyme hydrogenase. So the pathway of nitrogen fixation in root nodules. So this is the where the nitrogen fixation is the started glucose 6-phosphate, act as a electron donor. So it is a glucose 6-phosphate, it is an electron donor. So this glucose 6-phosphate is converted into the phosphogluconic acid. Okay, in this phosphogluconic acid, and 6-phospho glucose 6-phosphate 6-phosphogluconic acid utilize the NADPH and donate the electrons from ferredoxin proteins, and releases the ferredoxin is reduced. Reduced ferredoxin act as a electron carrier and denote the electron to iron protein to reduce it. Electron released from ferredoxin. so thus oxidized. So this is the process. So reduces iron protein and with ATP in the presence of magnesium ions, and second subunit activated and reduced it, and it donates the electron nitrogen to ammonia, and enzymes set free after complete reduction of nitrogen to ammonia. So this is the process. Thank you.